Well, yes, good day, viewers, and welcome back to another wrap-up sports wrap show. And for this one, it's going to be an interesting one because there is so much to talk about. I mean, we all know we had some Champions League games last night, and we saw Manchester United couldn't keep hold of a 3-1 win for just 30 minutes, and we saw them ending up in a 3-3 draw. Congratulations to Real Madrid who make it through to the knockout stages. We still have one more game left as Manchester United fans, so fingers crossed, hopefully we do get the win and we see the other teams draw so that we see ourselves in the next round of the Champions League. With that being said, let's get into the hit list. Well, to start off with, we had some football action last night at the Independence Stadium where we saw UNAM FC take on Orlando Pirates. Well, definitely it was a tight game. At some point in the first half, the game was at 1-1, but then we saw UNAM coming out on strong on that one with a good free kick scored, and they won the game 2-1. Well, Ronnie Canalelo here updates us on how the game went.
At least today we hit the target twice, but we still need more, especially out of the game itself. You know, not through set pieces. I want to see more penetration. I want to see more shots on target. But we're still missing something, especially in the final third. You know, but yeah, we want to play. But then also the decision making, there's time to run with the ball, there's time to just release the ball. But if you have 3-4 guys all wanting to run with the ball at any given moment when they receive it, then it also breaks the momentum, the fluidity of our game. Yeah, and then the end product, you know, out of every situation. If my wing back comes up, I want to see, especially on the left hand side, what comes out of it. Should we cross? Should I keep the ball? I mean, second half on the right side, we had so many good moments, especially with Paulus Gideon, you know, going behind the defense line. But then you know that your teammate is behind you. Then let's just hold the ball. Why going into emergency situations? But yeah, those are things that we can always work on. Both, you know, two beautiful free kicks. We really played. I think we just played against a team that gave a better performance than the last. I think they played more on motivation than really a proper game plan. Maybe that was their strategy to hit long balls and try to battle us from the second ball and stuff. Other than that, I think we fought it out.
You traveled to the north.
Yeah.
It's Chula this weekend.
I mean,
what are you taking from this game?
What I'm taking is the 2 goals. I'm taking us keeping the ball. But as I said, I just want to see more what we do with the ball, especially in the final third. The composure, the combination, the right decision making in the final third. That's what I want to see differently on Saturday. I know it's not gonna be a game where we actually face a team that builds up from the back. It's a team that obviously just one pass to the defender and then the long ball, and then we have to fight for it in the air, and then they want to come from the second ball, you know, with individual players like Levy and them. But we want to try and misplace them with our structure. So we have something in mind.
Sticking to football, Brave Gladiators Fitness Coach and Conditioning Coach Alfred Ndyenge speaking about the team's fitness ahead of their AFCON qualifier against Ghana. Let's take a look.
Okay, Coach, we have been training Namibia for the past 2 weeks. How is the fitness level of the girls looking like?
I mean, it's a good first run out to this morning. Everyone looks very good, conditioned. We are just fighting how to acclimatize with the humid weather. You can see how everyone is complaining about the heat, but in between, after another session, I'm hoping the levels will draw down to getting used to the situation right now. So the fitness, I'm not concerned. There's not major injuries. The team is 100%. We are expecting one more player tomorrow or today latest, and then we are good to go.
You spoke about the weather and the conditioning. There's much difference compared to our weather. How are the girls taking that in?
Of course, 75% of these ladies have never been in such weather, so we are trying to also brush them. Luckily, we are experienced enough, having played in West Africa. Every now and then it helps that you can always tell them that the first 10 minutes you will feel this way, then you have to just get used to that. So we hope they can just quickly acclimatize to that.
Well, Uganda are officially celebrating their first ever ICC T20 World Cup qualification. Uganda will join Namibia at the big dance to be hosted in the USA and West Indies during June next year. With that being said, we did catch up with the Uganda captain, Brian, and this is what he had to share.
I've got Brian Musaba, captain of the Ugandan Cranes, with me. They qualified for the 2024 Cricket World Cup in the West Indies and the USA this past 2 weeks here in Windhoek. First by beating a Test nation Zimbabwe comprehensively, and today they concluded their campaign here at Wanderers, brushing Rwanda aside. Brian, congratulations first of all, and this must be like heaven on earth for you guys.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah, it's a pretty special feeling. You know, I can't express it in words. I've got a special bunch of players that came out here and made history. They've pulled off something very, very special. And, you know, not just for us, but for, you know, the 46 million people back home. It's a party going on in Uganda. And, you know, it's very special to be part of this. You know, these qualifiers are not the easiest things to come out here and play. And, you know, the guys just came out here with belief. They came out here believing they had a chance to go to the World Cup. It was a dream that, you know, we laid out 3 years ago. And it's been a long road, but, you know, it's great to get across the line.
Absolutely, Brian. The first time I saw you guys play here in Windhoek 10 years ago, you as a team has matured, improved immensely over the past years. What happened? Is it self-confidence that gave you guys a boost, or is it just self-belief?
Yeah, like it's been very intentional, you know, ever since the T20 rankings came into play. You know, there's been a very intentional effort by Uganda Cricket Association to help us go up the rankings, and that was by playing a lot of games, a lot of tournaments, you know, and we've had some great coaching staff. Lawrence Matlani helped us a lot. He was with us for a couple of years. I know he really, you know, just taught us about the things we needed to do to sort of professionalize or semi-professionalize, and, you know, that really helped us on our journey. And, you know, this is a culmination of a lot of effort, both by the players and the administration. And, you know, it's been growth over the years. And for us to get into the World Cup, that's really massive for Ugandan cricket. And, you know, hopefully we can go on to greater things from here.
Brian, lastly, the road from here to the World Cup in the West Indies and the USA next year in June, July, I think. What are the plans? What are you guys going to do?
You know, it's a lot of hard work from here on. You know, the train never stops. I mean, we've gotten ourselves into a World Cup. Now it's important for us to go out there and give a good account of ourselves, because, you know, this is a great advert for African cricket. It shows that, you know, there's a lot of potential outside the two big test nations of South Africa and Zimbabwe on the African continent. So, you know, for us and Namibia to get into that World Cup is massive. You know, it's massive for associate world. And hopefully, you know, ICC takes notice and, you know, expend more effort towards making sure more associates get more opportunities like this. So it's important for us to go back home, work hard, and make sure when we get into the World Cup, we give a good account of ourselves.
Okay. Brian, congratulations once again to you and the guys, the technical team, the coaches, Craig Williams that assisted as consultant, and Godspeed, and travel back to Uganda and promote cricket.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for your time. I'm Tilman Flill for NTV. Till next time, goodbye.
Well, 2 minutes after the break, where Anushka joins us in studio as she talks to Selma Kaulinge about the Desert Dash that is ready and gearing up for next week.
We're joined today by Selma Kaulinge, the Communications and PR Manager of Nedbank Namibia. Hi, Selma, how are you doing?
Hi, Anushka. I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm quite excited to have you in studio today.
I'm so happy to be here. It's my first time in studio, but I'm happy to be here.
Well, you should be here more often then.
Yeah.
We are going to be talking about the much anticipated event of the year, the Nedbank Desert Dash.
Yeah.
So Nedbank has been part of this event for a lot of years.
Yes.
So can you just give me an overview of what Nedbank is doing and how they came on board?
Okay. Well, definitely we are excited that the Nedbank Desert Dash takes place already next week. We were basically planning it the whole year, but it's finally here. We are excited. Nedbank, obviously, if you followed our story, especially within sports, Nedbank has been a huge supporter of Namibian cycling, probably one of the biggest supporters of Namibian cycling. So it was just obvious or just natural that Nedbank also, officially sponsor one of the greatest cycling events in Namibia, which is the Nedbank Desert Dash. So we've been on board. The Nedbank Desert Dash is in its 19th year.
Yes.
So we've been on board just over the last 8 years. So Nedbank has been sponsoring the Nedbank Desert Dash, and we're very happy and we're very excited. Like I said, it is one of the most anticipating sporting events on our calendar.
So with their excitement, we can definitely guarantee for many years to come, Nedbank will be signing.
Definitely, yeah.
Yes, so can you also give us a bit about the routes and, because I know I'll never be able to do that.
Yeah.
But the route, how they're going, the cyclists going, the trials and tribulations and everything?
Okay, so the Nedbank Desert Dash is the longest single-staged cycling event in the world. It's one of a kind. It's a race cycling event, mountain bike cycling event that takes place from Windhoek to Swakopmund through the Komas-Hoogland mountains. So you go through the Kuferberg, the Auspass, you get all the way to Konikontes and then finally to Swakopmund. So it's not only about cycling. I think if you do the race, it really has to do, there's so much more that's involved with it. So the cyclists have to travel almost 400 kilometers, about 369 kilometers from Windhoek to Swakopmund. The race has to be finished in 24 hours. So it's a challenge, but I think it's one of those challenges that people put on their bucket list and are very excited for.
Yeah, no, we had Beverly, one of the cyclists, also in studio last week, and she said it takes a lot to get ready. It's not just the body, but also the mental and emotional well-being that you should get ready. Because a lot of people are also doing it for charities this year.
Yes, we have a couple of charities, or a couple of people who are doing the dash for charities, which also brings another aspect of the race. So it's not only sports or tourism or nature, it encompasses so much more. So people decide they're going to do the race and they're going to raise funds for certain charities. We have charities that are focused at children, babies, charities focused at people who have lost their loved ones. So the dash has become so much more than just a cycling event, and we are very proud of it, and we're very excited definitely this year as well.
Now, with all these elements in place, how many participants do you guys have already on books?
We have about just about 1,000 participants in 3 different categories, or a couple of different categories. So we have the solo, which is the people who are the bravest, who go through the desert by themselves, and then you have a 2-man team. It can be mixed. It can be 2 female, 2 male. It can be mixed. So then we have 4-person teams. So then you divide the route with your teammates. So we have just about 1,000 riders, because we go through the desert, and because obviously it's because we want to protect our natural resources. We have to cap participation, and that's also another reason that adds to why the Desert Dash is so sought after, because we get participants from all over the world, who come to do the race.
That was actually my next question, is why do you think the Desert Dash remains such a significant event in the cycling community?
Well, firstly, it's one of a kind, definitely. Secondly, it's the numbers are capped, so you really have to especially for the 4-man team, it goes very fast. I know sales for that go less than a minute. They are sold out because of the limited amount of people we're able to have. I think it's also a challenge for people, you know what I mean? And it's also, like I've been saying all throughout this interview, it's more than a cycling race. I think people do it to challenge themselves. I think people from overseas come because Namibia is such a beautiful country, that in itself. But also saying that you've completed the Desert Dash, I think is also just...
I think that is actually, in the conversation, everybody's like, well, I did this and I didn't. And then you just come pop to the conversation and said, I completed the Desert Dash.
Exactly.
I think that's the conversation stopper, be like, okay, no, you won.
Exactly.
But because of the event itself and the duration of it, like we said, it takes a lot of physical, mental, and emotional health and well-being to actually participate in this event. Any well-wishing you have for the cyclists?
Yes, definitely. We wish all the cyclists really, I know they've been preparing months now, because obviously the dash, you do it one day, but you have to prepare, basically the people I know have been preparing the whole year. So we really want to wish all the cyclists really the best out there. We pray and we hope that the weather is favorable to them. All the family and friends who come out to support the cyclists, we also wish them well. Support drivers, our organizers, our partners. I also maybe just say a word to our co-sponsors who are Hollard, Trek, Indongo, Toyota, and Superspa. So we thank them, but definitely to our cyclists, we'll be there at the start and we'll catch you at the finish, and we're very excited.
We are definitely also very excited to see the happenings of it. Well, our Ironga team is definitely going to be at the end game to also wish the drivers well and congratulate them. So stay tuned, guys, because Nedbank Desert Dash, it's here.
We've always had the bravery to stand up for what is Namibian, from protecting our homes to fighting injustices. We still celebrate what it means to us and raise a glass to those who show their bravery. No matter how they take on the world, with all this potential in the land of the brave, what will you do to make this Namibia your Namibia?
Well, the 6 gymnasts of Crete Gymnastics Club are gearing up to represent the country at the 14th Memorial Lazar Krstić and Mazda Telavokic, hopefully I'm saying that correctly, International Gymnastics Competition in Serbia. With that being said, Maria Ngula was the reporter on duty, and this is what he got for us.
We'd like to introduce our Namibian gymnasts and coaches that are taking a team to Serbia this year. We've got Wodia Anderson, Joni Thorburn, Sureshni Andrew, Arno Brink, and Lynn Thorburn, Emmanuel Poper, and myself, Petra Thorburn. I'm the team manager for the team. We also have Nadine Yeager, who's not here at the moment, but she's our judge. And one of our other gymnasts, Zinedine Miziani, who's in Sumep training there currently and only coming in tomorrow. This team will be competing in Serbia from between the 8th and the 10th of December at an international gymnastics competition against a lot of countries from all over the world. There's quite a variety of different categories at this competition, from very pre-junior teams to senior teams, and our gymnasts are representing in different categories for this competition. We are very excited to see what is going to happen at this competition, and we have very high hopes for them. They've trained very hard and we're very proud of them. And we've also represented Crete last year as well, with the boys only. So Woody, I can give you a bit of background on that.
Yes. So last year we had 2 boys representing Namibia. We had Langman, aka Langman, known as Emmanuel Cooper, and we also had James. And both of them actually did very well. They both went into finals, whereby we missed one almost by 0.20, a bronze medal, which was very, very good. And hopefully for this year, cross my fingers, they will do very well and they will bring back medals for us.
Okay, I understand one is here today. Who's here? Yes.
Today we have Emmanuel Cooper. He's going to represent us again for the second time. And we are very, very prepared this time.
Okay, Emmanuel, can you maybe just say a few words on how you feel about taking on the competition once again?
Yeah, the last year was quite a wonderful year for me, and my first competition, and it was, and this year I'm fully prepared, and I hope to do my best and get something this time.
Okay, and for the first timers, what are your thoughts on the competition?
We're very excited to go to Serbia this year, and we have really high hopes for the competition. We've been training really hard in the mornings and the afternoons, this whole year, and we're feeling very ready. Still a few tweaks to go during our last few training sessions, but we're feeling ready and prepared to represent Namibia.
Okay.
It's going to be a huge experience for most of us, the first beginners that's going to go to Serbia, and we will do our best to represent our country. Thanks.
I'm very excited to go. I think all of us are excited because it's our first time, and it's also my first international flight, international competition. So I'm super excited. It's my first international competition. I have experienced the competition already, but I have never competed. So I feel I'm confident and I'm ready to see what happens.
Okay, thank you so much for your time, and all the best.
Thank you so much.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, starting off with soccer news first, and it's soccer news from the Champions League. Games were played in Group A, B and C in the Champions League, and firstly in Group B it is Arsenal that reached the Champions League knockout phases, and that is after they thumped Lens, and the score at the Emirates Stadium was 6-0, and it's Arsenal that's through to the last 16. Arsenal didn't play in the Champions League the last 7 years, so a great performance by them to reach the final 16. And also in Group B, it was PSG Eindhoven that beat Seville. That game was played at Seville. The score there was 3-2. And it's also PSV Eindhoven with 8 points looking likely to go through to the last 16 as well. In Group C, it's Real Madrid that beat Napoli by 4-2, and they comfortably lead Group C. They've got 15 points, and Napoli's got 7 points. That is in Group C. Then in Group A, it was not a good performance by Manchester United. Manchester United played against Galatasaray, and they from Turkey. That game was played in Istanbul, and that game ended 3-3. And it is Manchester United that's bottom of the 4 teams in Group A, and going to be difficult for them to reach the top 16. And it is also in Group A, it was Bayern Munich that had a 0-0 draw against FC Copenhagen. So Bayern Munich leading Group A by 13 points, and FC Copenhagen second by 5 points. Continuing international sports news with golf news, and it is Ryder Cup news. Ryder Cup is a team competition for men that is played between Europe and the United States. This year, a month ago in Rome, it was Europe that won the game 16.5 to 11.5 against the USA. The captain was Luke Donald of the European team, and it was confirmed by the European team that he will also captain the European team in 2 years' time, in 2025, when they play in New York. That is when they defend their title, and that game will be played, of course, then in the USA. Only once before a captain of Europe could win in the USA and in Europe, and that was Tony Jacklin that achieved that way back in 1985 and 1987. So Luke Donald trying to emulate him by winning in New York in 2025. And closing off today's international sports news, it is cricket news, and it's cricket news related to Ben Stokes. He's the captain